If your grass grows just 3 centimeters above your hoe's hidden standard, you could start paying today and pay double tomorrow. It sounds absurd. It's real enough to hurt your wallet. In just a few days, an ordinary family racked up fines because their lawn was a little too perfect. Today, I'll show you how this happens, how to prevent it, how to reverse it, and the exact sentence that changes the game. Stay with me until the end, because you'll walk away immune to fines over 3 centimeters. Here's what you're about to discover. How some hoes hide micro-rules almost no one reads. The 5 most common mistakes that trigger citations without you noticing. A simple step-by-step to contest and buy time. The paragraph in the rules that often zeroes the charge. And the 3-line email that has already saved people from paying a lot. And yes, practical, direct, and usable today. Let's start with a story that could be yours. Julia and Marcos came home on a random Tuesday and found a notice taped to the door. Lawn out of standard, plus 3 centimeters. From that moment, the clock started ticking. They've always taken care of their place. Weekend cuts, everything tidy. On Sunday, it poured. On Monday, the lawn swelled. On Tuesday, the fine arrived. No photos, no before and after. No comparison to the previous week. Just a quick measurement with a pocket ruler and a number at the bottom. Anger, injustice, and a question. How can something so small cost so much? The answer sits in a set of documents almost no one opens after moving in. The HOA paperwork. The main bylaws are usually clear, but over time come addenda, circulars, meeting memos, small updates that supplement the rules. The 3 centimeter rule isn't always in the original document. Sometimes it's buried in a recent addendum, and because many residents don't get direct notice or don't check the portal regularly, they find out at the worst moment, when the fine hits the door. That's why the first step is simple and powerful. Download all your HOA documents today. Bylaws, CC and Rs if applicable, landscaping policy, addenda, circulars. Search for keywords: grass, landscaping, height, measurement, correction, proportionality, warning, cure period. Note the date of each file and make a personal summary of what affects your yard. It takes little time and can save a lot of money. Now let's talk about the measurement itself. 3 centimeters on a flat wall are easy to measure. 3 centimeters on grass are something else. Grass is organic, uneven, taller in shade than in sun, changes with humidity, lies down in wind, and stands up in heat. Depending on where you measure, the grass type, the time of day, even how hard the ruler is pressed, the result varies. Without a clear protocol, the measurement is weak. And if the proof is weak, so is the fine. What should you do in practice? Document. Take 3 photos of your lawn from 3 different angles. Include a simple scale, a ruler, a coin, any standard object that appears in the frame. Record the date. Create an album called HOA Evidence and keep adding to it over time. If you need to contest, that documentation becomes your shield. It shows care, good faith, and concrete evidence. When the notice arrives, trade indignation for strategy. Your tone changes the outcome. Aggression shuts doors. Calm, technical, collaborative language opens rooms you didn't know were there. Thank them for the notice, show immediate action, ask for method. Something like, "Thank you for the notice. We performed a light trim and attached photos with scale at 3 points. Could you please share the measurement protocol used, location, instrument, and time, so we can align with the standard?" This kind of message reduces resistance and invites a technical conversation. You show respect, prove you acted, and request transparency. And here's a piece many people ignore: the correction window. In many regulations, there's a clause that grants a reasonable period for a voluntary fix before harsher fines, especially when there's no safety risk. It often appears as a cure period, correction period, proportionality, or warning. If your HOA provides this, you have leverage. If it doesn't, you can appeal to principles of reasonableness and good faith, proposing a plan to correct within 48 or 72 hours with photographic proof. Julia found that breathing room in a little-known addendum. It essentially said that aesthetic issues without safety risk should receive a minimum of 7 Taitwu hours for adjustment before fines, unless there's documented recurrence. The request was direct. Per the section on corrections and proportionality, we request 7 Taitwu hours for full adjustment and a review of the need for the fine. They had already done a light trim and attached images. The result? A warning instead of a charge. The next day, the fine was cancelled. Notice the sequence. Documentation before the problem, immediate action when you receive the notice, a request for the measurement method, and invoking a principle from the rules themselves. 3 simple moves that flip the match. Let's organize this into practical steps you can apply today. First, log into your HOA portal and download all PDFs. Second, scan for keywords related to your yard. Third, create the evidence album with 3 photos from 3 angles and a visible scale. Fourth, put a monthly reminder on your calendar to update those photos and save a short panoramic video of the lawn. Fifth, keep a 3-line response email draft. Validation, proof, technical request. That 3-line email is your trump card. It's short, polite, direct, and technical. It shows you're collaborating, offers proof, and asks for the measurement protocol. It can be like this. Thank you for the notice. We performed corrective trimming and attached photos with scale at 3 points. Could you share the measurement protocol used, location, instrument, and time? Per the section on corrections and proportionality, we request 7 Taitwu hours for full adjustment and a review of the need for the fine. Simple. Objective. Hard to refute. You might be thinking, what if they insist on charging? That's when your documentation matters. Before and after photos, visible scale, clear dates, the request for method, and a proposed timeline. It's far easier to negotiate when you demonstrate diligence, care, and evidence. If there's no correction clause in the rules, offer the plan anyway and ask for a proportionality review, explaining there was no safety risk, no harm to the community, and no recurrence. Well-documented good faith is a strong argument. Now, the 5 mistakes that cost the most. First, reacting with anger. That jams the conversation and creates instant resistance. Second, not reading addenda. Many people only know the main bylaws and miss what appears in circulars. Third, not documenting. Without evidence, it's your word against theirs. Fourth, last-minute drastic trims that ruin the look and create a new problem. Fifth, ignoring deadlines. Those who respond quickly, respectfully, and with evidence usually get time to adjust. There's also a psychological element here. When you acknowledge the effort of enforcement and show you're already addressing the issue, the person on the other side tends to relax. When you use simple terms, scale, sampling, measurement, location, time of day, you convey competence without arrogance. When you offer a solution, photos in 24 hours, full adjustment in 7 Taitwu, you step out of conflict and into cooperation. And cooperation is often rewarded with understanding. Let's reinforce your shield plan, because prevention is always the best investment. A 10-minute monthly checklist solves 80% of the risk. Light maintenance trim, clean edging along the sidewalk, remove debris, trash lids closed, cars away from prohibited spots, uncluttered facade, 3 photos with scale and 1 short video, album labeled with month and year, and cloud backup. When the unexpected comes, and it always does, you'll be 2 steps ahead. This is the moment for the promise I made. The exact sentence that unlocks the conversation and has already saved homeowners from paying a lot is simple. Per the section on corrections and proportionality, we request 7 Taitwu hours for full adjustment and a review of the need for the fine. It isn't aggressive. It isn't vague. It isn't over-legalistic. It's clear, points to a reasonable principle, and comes with action and proof. Repeat it with me to memorize. We request 7 Taitwu hours for full adjustment and a review of the need for the fine. We request 7 Taitwu hours for full adjustment and a review of the need for the fine. We request 7 Taitwu hours for full adjustment and a review of the need for the fine. To close every loop, let's recap the flow. It rained, the grass rose. The notice arrived. You took a breath and replied calmly. You thanked them for the contact, showed you already trimmed lightly, attached 3 photos with scale, asked for the measurement protocol, and cited the correction clause, or, if missing, the need for proportionality and time. You scheduled new photos in 24 hours and full adjustment in 7 tight woo. From here, the conversation changes. Instead of a push and pull, it becomes a technical coordination. You're aligning standard, method, and timing. You may not be able to cancel every fine. Sometimes the rule was communicated, the measurement was done well, and there's recurrence. Even then, your process is valuable. It reduces amounts, converts fines to warnings, builds goodwill, and creates a positive record. Above all, it gives you a sense of control, because what hurts isn't just paying, it's paying without understanding, without being heard, without a chance to fix it. Here, you understand, you're heard, and you fix it. Before we wrap up, one more golden tip. If you feel the conversation has stalled, change the channel. Instead of replying only to the notice, ask for a brief alignment with management. 5 minutes on the phone or an email exchange with objective questions. Ask how they prefer to receive your next evidence, what measurement standard they use, what height expectation they have in rainy versus sunny periods, and whether there's a tolerance window. Many places adopt a margin. When you define criteria together, the chance of friction plummets. Now for the empowering close. You already have the plan, the proof, the email, the paragraph, and the exact sentence. The rest is execution. Take the photos today. Download the documents today. Save the response template today. It takes minutes and can save a lot. Do it for yourself and for your peace. If this content saved you a minute of headache or even a single dollar, show it mattered by leaving a like right now. If you want to shield your home from unfair fines and learn every week models and strategies that work, subscribe and turn on notifications. Comment with the most absurd rule you've ever seen in your community. I will personally reply to the first 100 comments. And share this with someone who's in the crosshairs of a charge over a ridiculous detail. Today, you can make a difference in someone's life 3 centimeters at a time. One last important note. This content is educational. Rules vary between communities, and local laws change from place to place. Read your documents, document everything, and keep it cordial. Cordiality opens doors that fighting closes. And when you combine good faith with method and proof, 3 centimeters stop being a nightmare and become just that. 3 centimeters.